Everybody up?
So nice.
10 minutes past 7 o'clock. Good morning, everybody. You're watching The Morning Show here on Global, and Samantha Kemp Jackson is joining us now. She's a parenting expert. Good morning.
Good morning.
So if you have kids, you are doing this, homework. I have a kid in grade 1, and already we're doing homework, and it can be a battle royale. So you've got some tips on how to make it a little easier?
Yeah, kids are getting homework earlier and earlier, Eliza, so it's really important for the parents to have the tools to get them through the homework.
Absolutely. So let's start with exactly what you said. Provide them with tools.
So providing them with tools. So it's really important that the parents have everything available for their kids so that the kids feel that they're prepared and that they're not struggling in terms of finding everything that they need to get their homework done.
Mm-hmm. So simple things like just having the pens, the paper, like to have it around.
Have it around, have it available. So have the pens and the paper and all the tools at home. Have some in the knapsack, and if they need any extras, make sure they have the extras as well.
You know, Samantha, I think what's so hard is that these kids have such a long summer break, and they're having fun. They're outside, they're playing, they're inside, they're playing, and then they have to go back to school after such a long break and told to do homework, and it doesn't seem like fun anymore.
Yes.
How do you change that way of thinking and make it fun for them?
Well, I think it's really important to make it fun. So one of the things, and this is something that parents can think about as well in future, is to continue some of the homework lessons during the summer and during the breaks. Now, I know that that's not a lot of fun for kids sometimes, but I think it's important to keep them along that vein. And that could be just simple word games, simple spelling, simple math. Another thing is, you know, you can buy toys and games that the kids really appreciate that they'll find fun, not realizing that they're actually learning as they go. So, for example, there's a game there that's about multiplication. They look at it as a simple game, but it's actually a tool for both the parents and the kids to get ahead with their homework.
And Samantha, I think this is such a simple idea, but it's a brilliant idea. It would work for adults, and this is having a dedicated place for you to do homework so you know that when you're there, that's the only thing that you're concentrating on.
Absolutely. So it's really about getting them into the groove of doing their homework and knowing that you take it seriously, that they get their homework done. So whether it's in their room at their desk, if they have a desk, if you don't have that space, that's fine. It can be set up at the kitchen table or the dining room table, but they need to know that they're able to go to this particular place every day. There should be a routine and that they get their homework done there.
At your house, no TV, no computers in this dedicated place?
Well, it really depends because a lot of classes and a lot of teachers are implementing technology within the curriculum. So it's really a personal choice for the parents as to whether or not they want to have their kids use technology and to how much the kids are going to be using
tech.
tech.
In our house, when I was growing up, there was a spot, and it wasn't just me that used it. If my dad was doing more work after he came home from work, he sat there. I sat there to do my homework, and you knew, like you're saying, it was almost Pavlovian.
Yeah.
Tush hits that chair, it's like, all righty.
It's a homework spot.
What about helping kids do homework? You know what I found myself lapsing into was my child would get a fairly complex task. They'd ask for my help, and I would end up doing it.
Yeah,
and
it's
that, you know what I'm saying? There's a
Yes.
temptation on the part of some parents. Well, I'll just help you to this, so you get a great mark.
Yeah.
And you just want to get it done sometimes.
You just want to get it done, and I think that, you know, we all want to kind of take care of our kids and get the best answers for them, but it's really important that the parents are there to guide the children, to be available for them, but not to do the actual work for them. That's why it's really important for the parents to make sure that they know what's going on with a particular curriculum that the kids are taking, so that if there are questions that come up, the parents are able to answer the questions.
Now, I'm outing my mom at this point, but you have 4 kids, right?
Yes.
With that, we were 3, and my mom was like, "You're good at English. You do his English homework. You're good at math.
Yes.
You do." And so she was delegating.
Well, it can be a group effort. I mean, certainly I'm not very good at math, so my husband helps my daughter with math. You know, I'm better at spelling and grammar, so, you know, that's where I help. So I
But
think
you have
that
to make sure they do it.
they do the homework. Don't jump in and do it yourself because you're not really helping the child that
But
much.
Samantha, at what age can you just say, here, go do your homework and leave them alone?
Well, I think when they start getting to be about 7 or 8 or 9, you can do that. But I think it's important at the beginning of the homework session to touch base with them and see what they're doing. And then at the end of the session to really check and make sure that they've done it, that they understand what the lesson was about, and that they get the concept that was
You
being
have to
taught.
check it, because they'll fib.
They will fib.
Our
That's par for the
children,
course.
they will
That's
fib.
all about parenting.
But that is key too, just keeping up on what's going on, which can be a huge challenge as well, which again, I'm already finding with a person in grade 1. How's your
Yes.
day? Fine. What'd you do? Nothing. Which allegedly is exactly what I said to my parents when I came home.
You did nothing all day.
Yeah, nothing really from 9 to 4. So
Yes.
you do have to sort of chip away a little bit to make sure your kids are talking to you and you are up to date on what's going on with them.
And as well as I think it's really, really important for parents to know what's going on in the classroom. So there's nothing wrong with actually going to the teacher and saying, you know, I'm really interested in what you have planned for the year. Please let me know what's on the curricula right now for between September and December. And then you'll have that course outline that you can check in terms of what your child's doing.
How do you feel about tutors? I would never have made it through math in elementary school if I hadn't had a couple of great tutors.
I think tutors are great. I think it's a great resource for children, but I know that there are sometimes financial constraints that don't allow parents to have tutors. So in that instance, it's perfectly fine to go to the teacher and talk about having extra help for the child.
Right.
Or perhaps there's an older brother or sister, a friend, a relative. My brother's an accountant, so he can help with math. So there's always those resources there, but definitely get them for your children.
Right.
Have you checked out anything online in terms of tutoring? Because there are some sites, I think, where kids can learn. My daughter's studying for SAT, and you can buy the book, but there are also some sites that have mock tests. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that.
I think those are fine, but I think you have to really be careful because, as with anything online, there's no checks and balances. So again, just like we said before about the whole curricula, you just have to make sure that you know what your child is looking at online and whether or not that fits in with what they're learning at school.
Right, and try to keep to a schedule as well. Isn't that a good idea?
Very
that
important.
All of a sudden you don't look at the clock and it's like 8, 8:30, and you're supposed to be getting ready for bed, and now suddenly your kid's informing you.
And
they've
it's
got
really hard.
homework.
I mean, it's a lot of craziness in my household as well. But my husband and I have really carved out a time that my daughter has to sit down and do her homework. When she comes home from school, she can relax for a little while, and then she has to do homework before we have dinner and get the baths
You
done
have
and
to be
everything.
unified on that.
You have to be unified.
As with everything
it
in
has to be
parenting.
a unified front.
Because they'll split you.
They'll divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I only have 2, because it's like there has to be one adult for each child. Otherwise, they will just
Absolutely.
go.
Run you over.
Thank you so much, Samantha Kemp Jackson. You can check her out at multiplemayhemmama.com, and that is also on our website to lead you over there. Great advice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
7:17. We'll see you in a minute.
Okay.